We go from Iowa State's going to win the football game to is Auburn going to win the football game? Cal at Auburn. Auburn, 12.5-point favorite with the Golden Bears coming in. The ACC opponent, Golden Bears. Now, these two teams played last year in Berkeley. This is, we think, a different Auburn team. We think Hugh Freeze has got some stuff figured out. We saw Cam Coleman score his first touchdown as a college receiver, but also Jadyn for Cal, one of the best backs that Auburn is going to see all year. Is this a different Auburn, Ari? Can they come in? Like, they should be able to cover this. They should be able to do what they want to do, which is win. I think, obviously, they want to make the playoff. But realistically, I think a good goal for Auburn is like go 9-3 this season. Go 8-4 would be improvement, but I think they'd like to go 9-3. I think they feel like they could win 9 games this year.
Well,
if they're that type of team, they could cover this.
Well, if they want to win 8 or 9 games this year, they have to perform in this game. Because you go look at the back half of the middle portion and the back half of their schedule. Part of their schedule is Oklahoma, Georgia, and Missouri 3 in a row, and then at Kentucky is the 4th game in that stretch, and then they finish with A&M and at Bama. So like they have a marginally tough schedule. I think if they got to 8 or 9 wins on this schedule, they'd be in a position of great improvement. Now, the thing that I keep clinging to, and as a recruit, Nick, myself, who pays attention to who these studs are, like getting Cam Coleman is maybe the first recruiting get for Auburn that turns it around. Like, I think Payton Thorne probably is who he is at this point. Like, I don't know that I'm going to come into the season and think, okay, this guy's going to be a completely improved, better version of himself. But I do think when you have a guy like Coleman on your team who can't be covered, who's an instant impact player, that opens up your offense in a way that really drives home success. Like, think about how many teams last year were so successful because they had a receiver on their team that no one could cover. I do like Auburn's chances of covering this game. I think that Auburn is a more talented team than Cal, and they have improved under a coach that understands how to build a roster. So, 12.5 is kind of a scary number, but a team that is feeling good about itself, maybe found some things offensively, has some new people in the mix to help them be a new version of themselves coming off a 73-3 win. There were some Auburn fans, Andy, that were really upset that we didn't talk about them on Saturday. So give us a reason to talk about them this coming Saturday.
They played Alabama A&M.
I know, but
we won. Like, we had very important results between big-time teams to talk about. Like, we had a meltdown in Gainesville. We had, the Clemson hot takes wrote themselves. Like, what you want us to talk about a game against Alabama A&M? Come on.
They scored 70.
Great. Do you know how many yards a carry you would have averaged in that game?
The current me, maybe like 2.
Yeah, I think you could definitely do 2.
If somebody gave you $1 million, but you had 5 attempts to rush for a yard in an NFL game right now, would you take that?
Only because I know I can absorb punishment. I know how it feels to be hit by an NFL first rounder. And if I only have to do it 5 times and I might make $1 million, here's the problem. I'm not getting that yard. Not getting it.
Yeah. But like,
there's no chance.
If you had to pay $5,000 out of your checking account, if you didn't get the yard, would you take the risk?
Absolutely not. If it's just a free $1 million and somebody might trip and I can... Nathan in the chat, how good's my O-line? That is a legit question. But I don't even think it matters.
I don't know.
I do like Jack Conklin. I do.
I guess the punishment would be the punishment physically that you would receive from attempting it. So you would attempt it if you didn't lose any money.
I probably would if I wasn't going to lose any money. If I had to pay my own money, I absolutely wouldn't, because I think we know how that story ends. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.